A lot of exciting news came out this week for Pax Dei. The game is going to be coming to early access in only a couple of months, and before then, we will have a chance to play again in Pax Dei's second alpha happening in the first quarter of this year. Nvidia announced DLSS 3.0 support for the game, and one of the largest lore reveals for Pax Dei happened this week. Are we actually playing the bad guys? Watch the end of the video to find out. If you're looking to stay informed about Pax Dei while also unraveling the mysteries of every aspect of this incredible game, then welcome. Come and take a seat with your fellow nearly 1,300 consumers of Pax Dei content and join us for another Pax FriDEI review. This is the show where we talk about all of the fun, interesting, new, and exciting information that has dropped for Pax Dei over the last week. I am Altari, the professional gamer, and on this channel, we try to cover every nook and cranny of Pax Dei in such a painstakingly rigorous amount of detail that you'll have no choice but to become a professional Paxian yourself. There have been a couple of new faces joining us on the channel and in the official Pax Dei Discord, so with today's lore post, I am going to take the opportunity to do one of my favorite things on this channel. Discuss lore. Now, before you go clicking away because you find lore uninteresting, hear me out for a minute. Pax Dei is different from most modern games you have experienced. If Mainframe's vision comes to fruition, lore is going to be the thing directing us on quests. These mysteries and legends we read about can be very real to the gameplay of Pax Dei. If you want to find out if the dragon is actually killable, lore is going to inform you on how to do it or where to find the thing that can. On this channel, we have even made accurate gameplay system predictions based on lore posts. Looking at you, Armazel. So hear me out. Lore is actually one of the most important aspects of Pax Dei. My passion for it is also what kind of differentiates us from other channels, so I'm totally not biased, I promise. But before we get to any of that, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Early access is upon us. Yes, come spring, we are all going to be able to spend a one-time fee to gain access to Pax Dei for the duration of its initial development. Once the game is released and fully monetized, there will most likely be some form of subscription, but for the time being, we get to enjoy that blissful early access sheen. I'm not going to lie, I was very happy with this announcement and equally surprised that my guess for early access in 2024 was correct and also validated so soon. Alongside this announcement was news of Nvidia DLSS 3.0 support in Pax Dei. For those who don't know what DLSS is, think of it as a way for your graphics card to more intelligently render games for you and thereby boosting your FPS. I'm really excited for this. If you had joined me back in our first Pax Dei live stream, my poor computer was struggling a lot. So much so that we are going to soon be acquiring parts to build a new, more powerful PC. It's going to look really cool with water cooling and RGB, so let me know down in the comments if that's something you'd like to see me put together. I'll share more about that on the Professional Gamer Discord, which is linked down below. Just as an important side note, Alpha 2 is also swiftly approaching. Though no dates are announced yet, our downtime between Alpha 2 and Early Access might be pretty short, as we will have the opportunity to get into Alpha 2 in Q1, while Early Access is scheduled for somewhere between Q1 and Q2, listing spring as the release window. Now let's get into the lore. Alright, so for the rest of today's episode, I wanted to take the opportunity to 1, catch everyone up to speed on currently understood lore in Pax Dei, and 2, describe how today's lore post might have shown how we are actually the bad guys in this story. I would also like to say the Order of Knowledge is a great resource to discuss lore, and their Discord is linked down below. The world of Pax Dei is called the Creation, and it was made by the godlike figure known as the Divine. We will talk about them shortly, but for now, the Creation is our plane of existence. It has been described as perceived flat, not round, and there is a definitive center of it called the Axis Mundi. That will be an important name to remember for later. Now, the Divine is a god that mostly has been referred to as female. However, on occasion, texts have referred to the Divine as a male fatherly figure as well. Either way, a form of magic is sourced from this being, but I'll get to that in a bit too. The Divine has made a total of 10 versions of the Creation. In the previous 9 creations, a new layer of flat world was stacked on top of each other whenever humans became too evil or corrupt, and with them the rest of the world. These lower 9 layers make the 9 circles of hell in Pax Dei. They also might be locations we can explore in the form of dungeons. Now, all is not lost on humankind, however. The Divine grants her blessings to her children. This has been done most prominently through the coming of Redeemers. These are historical figures in Pax Dei who have bestowed humanity with new knowledge or power. They come to restore humanity from its deviation from the Divine and her creation. Just like there are 9 circles of hell, there are 9 Redeemers. First was Proteonia. She descended to the Creation from a tower in the center of Axis Mundi. Remember that place? Think of it kind of like a heaven or perhaps the Garden of Eden. She was an angel of the Divine, and with her brought the first humans to populate the earth. Think of her like the mother of humanity. The second was confirmed to be Myrothia from today's post. We haven't learned what she was responsible for doing, but we know the moon is also associated with her and that she came from the sea. The third we don't know yet, but the fourth is Phaonios, who was one of the first human-born Redeemers. They also have a really cool sword named after them. It might catch fire. The fifth is Armazel. This Redeemer was a great smith who taught humanity how to merge magic with metal, and is why our spells are attached to gear in game. Armazel led a group of paladins. He got bored one day and wanted the riches rumored under the great mountain Medulla, and ventured into the dark depths with his host, never to be seen or heard of again. Auroriel, the 6th Redeemer, is responsible for the creation of all the monasteries that exist in Pax Dei. We don't know who the 7th or 8th Redeemers are, but the 9th Redeemer is Loyos, a plant in-game that is used for a healing spell, bears this Redeemer's name, called the Tears of Loyos. This Redeemer was murdered, and as a result, humans no longer have access to the Axis Mundi. This is like a great fall moment. Lo and behold, a holy war started to brew. There were 4 ancient and powerful kingdoms in Pax Dei, the kingdoms of Gallia, Gothia, Anatolia, and Iberia. For reference, all of the Alpha currently is located in the land once occupied by the kingdom of Gallia. Within the kingdom of Anatolia, a sect of the church had broken off known as Sethians. This group believed that peace was a lie. They believe that pain and death brings them closer to a fallen deity known as the Rex Mundi, or Dark Lord, the source of darkness in opposition to the Divine and her children, humanity. It is believed that Sethians eventually fall into a mutilated, corrupt, malformed state, which in-game is seen as the undead-looking, always hungry Zebians. This transformation is fueled by corrupt spirit magic known as demonic magic. In terms of magic as a whole, there are several different sources of magic. The magic of the creation is known as spirit magic. It can be sourced from the Divine directly or through corrupted methods from the Rex Mundi, also known as the Dark Lord. Other types of magic do exist, some sourced from outside the plane of existence, others sourced from the latent energy within all things in the creation. Ultimately, magic power can come from many different sources. Some corrupt and twist what is already there, while others will create something new entirely. There used to be a pope and a holy see, or Church of the Divine. After the great downfall that happened during the rise of the Scythians from Anatolia and the murdering of Loyos, no new popes have emerged as the major kingdoms crumbled. We, the players, enter the world after a significant amount of time has passed since this point. Time to rebuild? Alright, so we're caught up. Why did today's lore post make me think we are the bad guys? What did I mean? Well, one thing about Pax Dei is that the lore shares parallels with our actual history. Currently, a lot of the lore seems to be getting pulled from a set of beliefs that were prominently argued in actual medieval times known as Gnosticism. Yeah, there's a solid G in there, and believe me, the name's pronunciation doesn't get better from here. If you look up these beliefs, there are huge amounts of parallels to Pax Dei lore. Praetonia, the first Redeemer in Pax Dei, is even mentioned. Nevertheless, the entire sect of Gnosticism is sourced from a group known as, wait for it, Scythians. Yes, up until this point, we have been reading the lore from the perspective that those who follow the divine believe in a female god, and that Scythians believe in a male one, the Dark Lord. With today's post, however, it becomes apparent that the second Redeemer, Meirothea, was referring to the divine as a male figure, the Allfather. This ties directly into real-world Gnostic beliefs. So, in other words, it almost sounds like Scythians were at one point the good guys. So that brings us to the conclusion.
Hans, are we the baddies?
That is not simply answered, unfortunately. What the lore is currently leading us to believe is that there is a possibility that Scythians were actually a part of the worshippers of the divine. The only difference is that they got corrupted into following the Rex Mundi as opposed to the true divine and are now corrupted. Either that, or all of those Scythians I killed in the first alpha was really just me murdering the pious and devout, though dark and intimidating looking, followers of the divine. That is all of the lore breaking down that we are going to do for today. All of this would have been way more difficult to summarize if the members of the Pax Dei community, and more importantly, the Order of Knowledge, hadn't invested so much time in chronicling all things Pax Dei lore related. I really do recommend checking out their Discord if you haven't already. Additionally, I would like to thank our channel members for all of your support. Firm professional handshakes to all of you. If you enjoyed this type of content and you're a part of the 60% of viewers who aren't subscribed, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite part of Pax Dei lore is so far, and what faction you would align with in the future. While you are down there, don't forget to like this video if it is the type of content you enjoy, and share with any of your friends who might be interested in Pax Dei. Until next video, I am Eltari the Professional Gamer.